As we prepare for this Mincha service, I invite us all to turn to page 327. And let's join together as we prepare for Mincha. Jacob had a dream, a ladder set on the ground, with its top reaching the sky, and angels of God were ascending and descending the ladder. Our sages taught, the Holy One said, Jacob, you must climb as well. But Jacob was afraid, and he did not climb up. We want to climb higher, but we're tired. There's so much to do, and we don't know how to rise. God of becoming, whose name means, I will be what I will be, you are the unfinished one, ever unfolding, evolving with your creation. Made in your image, we too are fluid, ever becoming who we will be. Keep us alive to possibilities. Show us a path to grow in mind, heart, and spirit. Help us find the strength to ascend. We continue on page 168.
Hallelujah, Tishrei, which is mostly the only prayer that we have in Mincha before reciting the Amidah, gathers some of the most beautiful ideas that are also central motifs of Yom Kippurim, the idea of kindness, the idea of opening our hearts and knowing that we can return and connect with God because God is a loving God. As we said, how do we say every single time that we take the Torah from the Ark, and we are going to say in 2 more minutes? What do we say? What's the motif that comes again and again during the High Holidays? Al-Rahum, Hanum, we speak of a merciful God, of a graceful God. We ask to be embraced by that mercy and by that grace. That means this is the afternoon of Yom Kippurim. This is it. The gates are starting to close. Like in New York, they are closed already. That doesn't mean that this is California. They're starting to close. So allow the liturgy, allow the words that you will find in the Machzor to help you connect with the words that you need to hear, the words that you need to say to yourself. And know that there's a very strong foundation in our tradition to think that God is on the other side waiting for us and saying, it's okay. Whatever you need to say, whatever you need to work can be done. It can be worked. Because there's a strong foundation of mercy and grace that is waiting for us. We are now going to move to page 328 in order to commence our Torah service. Please rise as we open the Ark. מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוש לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. ירושלים, ברוך שנתן תורה התורה, ברוך שנתן תורה התורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד.
אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש ונורא שמו. אחד אלוהינו, גדול Hallelujah.
נעשה וכל בראש רוממו, אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. מזמור לדוד, אבו לאדוני ונעלים, אבו לאדוני, אבו אדוני עוש לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. You may be seated. May God give us the strength and the blessing of shalom.
On a recent Wednesday morning, I was participating with our preschoolers, ages 2 to 5 years old. I'm often sharing songs with them, but this time was a special time of year as I brought the shofar with me. I chanted the shofar calls and followed it with the corresponding blast of the shofar. Each time, the children screamed and laughed in delight. They felt it, and I felt it. It was a moment of awe, different from my regular visits to the preschool. They were a part of the mitzvah of hearing the shofar blown, and beyond that, it was a pure moment of pure wonder. This experience with our preschoolers reminded me of Rabbi Josh Feigelson's weekly drash on Va'et Hanan. He talked about awe, and it was like a light bulb went off. Feigelson mentioned a psychologist named Dr. Keltner, who's done significant research on awe. Keltner defines awe as the feeling of being in the presence of something vast that transcends your current understanding of the world. He and his team show that awe is a very deep emotion that serves a number of psychological, physiological, and social functions. Dr. Keltner introduces the idea of 8 sources of awe. Number 1, moral beauty, which he describes as the courage others show when encountering suffering. 2, collective effervescence, which came from French sociologist Émile Durkheim in his analysis of the emotional core of religion. Keltner describes it as the qualities of such experiences we feel like we are buzzing and crackling with some life force that merges people into a collective self. 3, nature. As Keltner says, often what inspired natural awe was a cataclysmic event. And we are experiencing this now in our world with all the recent hurricanes. Music, number 4. Perhaps this is something that you have felt during our chanting and singing in these High Holy Day services. 5, visual design. This is described as architecture or paintings. Keltner says, the awe we feel in relation to visual design allows us to locate ourselves within cultural systems that we may be a part of. 6, religious spiritual experiences, a spiritual moment of awe. For example, when we hosted Rabbi Deborah Sachs-Mintz and were lifted up as a community in song through her music. 7, life and death experiences, the birth of a baby, and accompanying someone as they take their last breaths on earth. And lastly, 8, epiphanies. As Keltner says, when we suddenly understand essential truths about life, he describes this as philosophical insights, scientific discoveries, metaphysical ideas, personal realizations, and more. When we think about this list, what moments of awe do each of us experience within a day, a week, a month, or a year? Over these last 10 days, we have been in the midst of the days of awe, as we are almost at the end of the Yamim Noraim, the days of awe. The word Norah derives from the root Yud Resh Aleph, which can mean to fear, to be afraid, to be awed by, to be in awe of, to revere or to honor, to respect. The word Norah appears less than 20 times in the Tanakh. You may have also heard the Yamim Noraim translated as days of dread, days of reverence, days of honor, or days of respect. Now here's a familiar example of the use of the word Norah. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, Norah tehilot oseh fela. Who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? We say these words in our liturgy every day, but let's take a moment to remember when these words are recited in the Torah text. They are recited right after the Red Sea has parted and the Israelites begin their crossing through the waters. We can imagine what an awesome sight this must have been. Perhaps from Keltner's 8 sources of awe, nature, and awesome in the sense of amazing and fear. How did the Israelites know that the waters are not going to immediately close over them? And yet, they took the step by trusting God in this awesome sight. Another example is found in our High Holy Day liturgy. Unetane tokef kedushat hayom, ki hu norah va'ayom, uvo tinaseh malchutecha vayikon bechesed kisecha, v'teshev alav be'emet. We lend power to the holiness of this day, for it is awe-filled and threatening or frightening, and on it your kingship will be exalted. Your throne will be established in loving kindness, and you will sit on that throne in truth. This Piyut poem reminds us that we don't have control over our own fate in the coming year. Our lives can be filled with awe-filled moments, awful moments, and awesome moments. What is the difference between awe-filled, awful, and awesome? For example, an earthquake or hurricane is awful, and yet there is a sense of awe that has happened as the earth shook. Again, relating back to the idea of nature as a form of awe, which we can see in this text from Isaiah chapter 64, verse 2. Ba'asotecha noraot, lo nekaveh yaradta mipanecha harim nazolu. When you did wonders we dared not hope for, you came down and the mountains quaked before you. What does it mean for us to see, let alone to experience these natural wonders that have the power to be difficult and awful. And moving from nature to the personal, how do we frame our feelings during this time of introspection? Rabbi Amanda Catherine Weiss asked the following question: do we find ourselves in the Yamim Noraim in a positive place, receptive to transformational change and internal shift? Do we find that opportunity awesome? Or do we enter the Yamim Noraim from a place of doubt and dread, that we have not lived up to our potential, that we have so much longer to go? In that case, is this time of year awe-filled or awful? These are harsh questions to ask ourselves, but this time of year compels us to think about them. While some of us may hold clear answers to these questions, perhaps we should approach these holy days with an open mind that might have us draw from both of these places. Not fully awful, but maybe more awe-filled, allowing ourselves to do such introspective work. How awesome is it that we as humans have the ability and the opportunity to change, to grow, to transform ourselves into better versions of ourselves. Rabbi Joseph Mesler provides us with a creative translation to Unatana Tokef. On Rosh Hashanah it is written, on Yom Kippur it is sealed, that this year people will live and die, some more gently than others, and nothing lives forever. But amidst overwhelming forces of nature and humankind, we still write our own book of life, and our actions are the words in it, and the stages of our lives are the chapters, and nothing goes unrecorded, ever. Every deed counts, everything you do matters, and we never know what act or word will leave an impression or tip the scale. So if not now, then when? For the things we can change, there is teshuvah, realignment. For the things we cannot change, there is tefillah, prayer. For the help we can give, there is tzedakah, justice. Together, let us write a beautiful book of life for the Holy One to read. Children, like our 2 to 5-year-olds in our preschool, experience many moments of awe, even if they can't name it that way. As adults, we may find life to be challenging, to be joyful, to be mindful, and even to be cruel. Wherever life takes us in this year of 5785, I hope that you find the strength to grow and transform, to experience all that life has to offer, to rebound from the awful, and to savor the awesome. And may we all have those moments of awe and wonder with a frequency which will help us to connect us to ourselves, to our community, and to God. Gemar Chatima Tova. The Torah reading this afternoon can be found on page 338. We'll be reading from Kiddushim, the Holiness Code, this afternoon. Ya'amdu Ephraim Moshe ben Yosef v'Rachel Dina v'Zis Elchana bat Yitzchak u'Mira Fega la'Aliyah harishona. Our first Aliyah is Eric and Lauren Karlinsky, and our Torah reader is Reuben Levy.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch ata Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
El Koadat B'nai Yisrael V'amarta Alehem Kedoshim Tihiyu Ki Kadosh Ani Adonai Elohechem Ish Imo V'aviv Tira'u V'et Shabtotai Tishmoru Ani Adonai Elohechem Al Tifnu El Ha'elilim Ve'Elohei Masecha Lo Ta'asu Lachem Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu, Baruch ata Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Ya'amdu Baruch Noach ben Aryeh Leb Halevi v'Rachel bat Lev v'Gitalea la'aliyah hashenit. Our second aliyah, we invite up Barry Cheskin and Rachel Berman Huck, and our Torah reader is Adriel Bernard. Come on this side. Okay, you can take that. Okay, wait, take the corner of your tallit, and we are right here.
Baruch hu et Adonai ha'mevorach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam.
Baruch Adonai ha'mevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Okay, right here. Okay, got it? Right there.
Amen. Vechi tisbechu zevach shlamim l'Adonai lirtzonechem tisbechu beyom zivchachem ye'achel umimacharat v'hanotar ad yom hashlishi be'esh yisaref ve'im he'achol ye'achel bayom hashlishi pigul hu lo yiratzeh ve'ochlav ono yisar ki et kodesh yadonai chilel ve'nichrata hanefesh hahim me'ameha.
Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch ata Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
For our third aliyah, we're going to be inviting up those members of our congregation who have been members for 35 years plus. I will attempt to get all of you. Ta'amod Zachava bat Shlomo Miriam, Ya'amod Liron ben Avraham v'Sara, Ta'amod Shoshana bat Meir v'Chana, Ta'amod Esther bat Tzvi Ari v'Pesha, Ya'amod Yitzchak Moshe ben Elnatan v'Ruchel, Ta'amod Sima Tapuz bat Meir, Ta'amod Zisel Chana bat Moshe u'Bracha, Ta'amod bat Sheva bat Shmuel u'Fega, Ya'amod Moshe Aryeh ben David v'Rachel, Ta'amod Lipsha bat Aharon v'Chana, Ya'amod David ben Michael v'Chaya, Ta'amod Rachel bat Yisrael, Ta'amod Shoshana bat Avimelech, Ta'amod Yafa bat Avraham v'Sara, Ya'amod Avraham ben David v'Elisheva, Ta'amod Linda bat Edward u'Patricia, Ta'amod Rachel Leah bat Aharon u'Devorah, Ta'amod Shira bat Hershel v'Freya, Ta'amod Miriam Leah bat Yaakov v'Golda Rivka, Ya'amod Slava ben Aharon v'Leah, Ya'amod Chaim Chanoch ben Yisrael u'Pesha Mindel, Ya'amod Avram ben Feivel v'Liba, Ta'amod Liba Devorah bat David v'Goldi Gittel, Ta'amod Miriam bat Yaakov, Ta'amod Zimra bat Avraham v'Sara, Ya'amod Shmuel ben Shmuel v'Rut. I gotta see, did I miss somebody? If I missed anyone, there you are, Susan. Hold on. Ta'amod Chaya Sora bat Shimshon u'Miriam, and Robin, I know you're here somewhere. Robin, I don't have your Hebrew name. Ta'amod Robin, and I'll have to get it later. So we have it in our records. And if I missed anybody, please, I ask for your forgiveness. So, okay, I'm going to, and our Torah reader is Julie Ogawa. Okay, I need one person to come and take their talit. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Amen. Okay, we are right there.
Amen. Uvkutrechem et kitzir artechem lo techale be'atzadcha liksor veleket yitzircha lo tilaked v'charmecha lo te'olel uferet karmecha lo tilaked le'ani v'lager ta'azov otam ani Adonai Elohechem lo tignovu velo techakashu velo tishavru ish b'amito velo tishavu vishmi lashaker v'hilata et shem Elohecha ani Adonai lo ta'ashok et reacha velo tikzol lo talin peulat zahir idha ad boker.
There it is. There you go. Baruch Adonai Baruch Adonai Amen. Yesher koach to all of you. We're so thrilled that you're all still here. You're all still standing, yes. Yesher koach. Yes, you all have to go on this side. Okay, we'll give you the table over here. Ya'amdu Yaakov Yisrael ben Yitzchak v'Rachel v'Don bat Fred v'Carol Aliyah HaRevi'it. Our fourth Aliyah is Joel and Don Gringorton, and our Torah reader is Virginia Hess. Okay, Joel, you're going to take the corner of your tallit first. Take the corner of your tallit.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'karbanu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Lo tikalel heiresh, velitnei iver, lo titen mikshol, ve'areta me'eloheha ani Adonai. Lo ta'asu avel b'mishpat, lo tisaf enedal, ve'lo tehedar penei gadol, ve'tzedek tishpot amiteha. Lo telech rahil be'ameha, lo ta'amod al damreha, ani Adonai. Lo tisna elahiha bilvavecha, hoheach tohiach et amiteha, ve'lo tisa alav hate. Lo tikom ve'lo titur et b'nei ameha, ve'avtah l'reaha chamocha, ani Adonai.
Beautiful. Here, Joel, take the corner again. Right down there. Good.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Beautiful job. Thank you. Yes, you're going to go over there. Tamdu Malka bat Abraham v'Sarav. Malka bat Abraham v'Sarav v'Sara bat Emmanuel u'mashala Aliyah HaChamishit. Our fifth Aliyah is Molly Guerrero and Sarah Elman, and our Torah reader is Jacob Sherman. Okay, we are right. Where did it just go? I just had it 2 seconds ago. Okay. It's right here. Take that.
Baruch et Adonai Hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Hamim, Venatan Lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Okay. Oh, that would help.
Amen. Mipnei seva takum vehadarta pene zaken ve'areta me Elohecha ani Adonai v'kiagur itcha ger be'artzechem lo tonu oto. Ke'ezra mikem yehiyeh lahem hagar itchem ve'ahavta lo kamocha ki gerim heitem be'eretz Mitzrayim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Beautiful.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam natan betocheinu. Baruch Atah Adonai, noten HaTorah.
Amen. For our sixth Aliyah for the Maftir, we'd like to invite up our new members. So these are the names I have, but if you are a new member and you've joined within the last year, I invite you to join us up here as well. Ya'amdu, Ya'amod Rachamim ben Norm Karen, Ta'amod Nishama Aliyah bat Avraham v'Sarah, Ya'amod Moody ben Sami v'Yocheved, Ya'amod Matthew ben Bob v'Martha Ann, Ta'amod Catherine bat Hans Mary, Ta'amod Brendel Ruchel bat Yaakov Ufega. Let's see if I can find alone. I see Ariel. Ariel Weiser, right? No. No, hold on. Okay.
What's your name?
Reina Leah bat Michal.
Slowly.
Reina Leah bat Michal ve'Avraham.
Okay. Ta'amol, Reina Leah bat Michal ve'Avraham. And Alon, what's your name? The Hebrew name.
Alon ben Shlomo veRut.
Yahamod, Alon ben Shlomo veRut.
There we go. I just saw him too. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Go ahead. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. I will right now. Amen. And our Torah reader is Aaron Wolf-Bloom. Okay, you are right there.
Oh wait, no, I'm up here.
No, you're right there. Lo ta'asu.
Oh, okay. Amen. Lo ta'asu avel b'mishpat b'amidah b'mishgal uv'mesura mosne tzedek avnei tzedek Ephod tzedek v'chin tzedek yehieh lachem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim ushmartem et kol hukotai v'et kol mishpatai v'asitem otam Ani Adonai.
Yesh koach. Okay, well, there, David. Just the tzitzi. Yeah, there you go. Baruch Torah. Amen. Yesh koach. Yesh koach. We're going to have you guys come this way. Welcome again. Welcome again. I'm sorry about that. Welcome again.
First, to acknowledge all these new faces in our community. They don't look new anymore, but they are new members. So it is great to have this beautiful connection between those that are founders of our congregation and members that are new members to our congregation. It means that community is something that we never stop building. We build all the time, and it was built for us before even Shir Hadash was built. Like hundreds and thousands of years ago, we're going to be doing, in a few more minutes, the Seder Avodah, the ritual that was done in the temple. And what we learned is that our communities, those that we built, like Shir Hadash, that they built for us, they come to replace the temple that we lost. And what we learn is that what we keep building is the essence. So we are glad that we have new members, new builders, because community is constantly being built. And I hope that 50 years with a very different rabbi, it's not going to be me. But let's not do 50 years. Let's do 20 years. That we celebrate 20 years of you at Shir Hadash. May we merit many, many good years of Haberut, of friendship, and communal building together. Amen. You may be seated. We'll take a moment now to acknowledge those that are dealing with illness. We say, Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu, Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Tzara Rivka Rachel Leah. We bless the Cholim, may the one who bless our ancestors will bless those who are ill. And if there are names that you want to share, this is the time to do that. Just say them, bring them into the space. Just say them out loud. הקדוש ברוך הוא ימצאם ויחזקם באורך רוח באומץ לב וישרה עליהם מרוחו לרפאם ברפואת השלמה, רפואת הנפש, ברפואת הגוף, עם כל חולי עמו ישראל ונאמר אמן. May the blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored. May God strengthen their bodies and their souls, and may they find a complete recovery of body and soul. רפואת הנפש ברפואת הגוף עם כל חולי ישראל, with all those who are experiencing illness, and we say, Amen.
יעמדו הגמביע והגוללות, יעמוד הגמביע משה בן משה וצורה זלדה, תעמוד הגוללת שרה מרים בת אברהם ושושה בריינה. We rise as the Torah is lifted.
וסוד התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה על על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הגמילות חסדים, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הגמילות חסדים.
On the right side.
You may be seated.
Our Haftarah this afternoon is from the book of Jonah. Our Haftarah blessings will be recited by Shel. Haftarah readers will be myself and Diane Fisher. So you can find the Haftarah blessing on page 342, and the reading of Jonah begins on page 344.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Abocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'v'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Vayehi Adonai Eliona ben Amitai lemor kum El Nineveh העיר הגדולה וקרא עליה כי עלתה רעתם לפניי ויקום יונה לברוח תרשישה מלפני אדוני וירד יפו וימצא ענייה באה תרשיש ויתן שכרה וירד בה לבוא עמהם תרשישה מלפני אדוני ואדוני הטיל רוח גדולה אל הים ויהי סער גדול בים והענייה השבה להישבר ויראו המלאכים ויזעקו איש אל אלוהיו ויטילו את הכלים אשר בענייה אל הים להקל מעליהם ויונה ירד אל ירכתי הספינה וישכב וירדם ויקרב אליו רב החובל ויאמר לו מלאך נרדם קום קרא אל אלוהיך אולי יתעשו האלוהים לנו ולא נאבד ויאמרו איש אל רעהו לכו ונפילה גורלות ונדע בשל מי הרעה הזאת לנו ויפילו גורלות ויפול הגורל על יונה ויאמרו אליו הגידה נא לנו באשר למי הרעה הזאת לנו מה מלאכתך ומאין תבוא מה ארצך ומזה עם אתה ויאמר עליהם עברי אנוכי ואת אדוני אלוהי השמיים אני הרי אשר עשה את הים ואת היבשה ויראו האנשים יראה גדולה ויאמרו אליו מה זאת עשית כי יראו האנשים כי מלפני אדוני הוא בורח כי הגיד להם ויאמרו אליו מה נעשה לך וישתוך הים מעלינו כי הים הולך וסוער ויאמר עליהם שאוני והטיפלוני אל הים וישתוך הים מעליכם כי יודע אני כי בשלי השר הגדול הזה עליכם ויחתרו האנשים להשיב אל היבשה ולא יכולו כי הים הולך וסוער עליהם ויקראו אל אדוני ויאמרו אנא אדוני אנא נאבדה בנפש האיש הזה ואל תיתן עלינו דם נקי כי אתה אדוני כאשר חפצת עשית ויישאו את יונה ויתלוהו אל הים ויעמוד הים מזרפו ויראו האנשים יראה גדולה את אדוני ויזבחו זבח לאדוני וידרו נדרים.
And Adonai provided a great fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. Jonah prayed to Adonai his God from the belly of the fish, and he said, I called to Adonai in my distress, and God answered me. I cried out from the belly of the netherworld, and you heard my voice. Into the depths you cast me, into the heart of the sea, and the floods engulfed me. All your billowing, breaking waves swept over me. And I thought to myself, I was banished from before your eyes. Will I ever again gaze upon your holy temple? The waters closed in over me, and the deep engulfed me. Rushes wrapped around my head. I descended to the low point of the mountains. The gates of the earth closed upon me forever. Yet you, Adonai my God, raised up my life from the pit. When my life fainted away, I called Adonai to mind, and my prayer came to you, to your holy temple. They who cling to empty folly forsake their own welfare. But I, with a shout of thanksgiving, I will sacrifice to you. What I have vowed I will fulfill. Rescue comes from Adonai. Adonai commanded the fish, and it spewed Jonah out upon the dry land.
And the word of Adonai came to Jonah a second time. Get up, go to the great city of Nineveh, and call out to it the proclamation that I tell you. So Jonah got up and went to Nineveh according to the word of Adonai. Now Nineveh was a great city of God, 3 days' journey across. And Jonah started out and made his way into the city, the distance of a 1-day walk. And he called out and said, 40 more days, and Nineveh shall be overturned. The people of Nineveh trusted in God, and they proclaimed a fast, and they put on sackcloth from the richest to the poorest. And word reached the king of Nineveh, and he got up from his throne took off his robe, put on sackcloth, and sat in ashes. And he cried out and said in Nineveh, by decree of the king and his nobles, no person or beast, of flock or herd, shall taste anything. They shall not graze, and they shall not drink water. They shall be covered with sackcloth, person and beast, and shall call loudly to God. Let all turn back from their evil ways and from the violence which is in their hands. Who knows God may turn and relent, turn back from the heat of anger, so that we do not perish. God saw what they did, how they were turning back from their evil ways, and God relented from the evil planned for them and did not carry it out. Vayera Elyona ra'a gedola, vayichalo, vayitpalel el Adonai, vayomar, Ana Adonai, halo zeh dvari, ad heyoti, al admati, al ken kidamti livroach, tarshisha, ki adati, כי אתה אל חנון ורחום, ערך אפיים ורב חסד, וניחם על הרעה. ואתה, אדוני, קח נא את נפשי ממני, כי טוב מותי מחיי. ויאמר אדוני, ההיטב חרה לך, ויצא יונה מן העיר, וישב מקדם לעיר, ויעש לו שם סוכה, וישב תחתיה בצל, עד אשר יראה מה יהיה בעיר. וימן אדוני אלוהים קיקיון, ויעל מעל יונה, להיות צל על ראשו, להצילו מרעתו. וישמח יונה על הקיקיון שמחה גדולה. וימן האלוהים תולעת בעלות השחר למחרת, פתח את הקיקיון ויבש, ויהי כזרוח השמש. וימן אלוהים רוח קדים חרישית, ותח השמש על ראש יונה, ויתעלף, וישאל את נפשו למות, ויאמר טוב מותי מחיי. ויאמר אלוהים אל יונה, היטב חרה לך על הקיקיון. ויאמר היטב חרה לי עד מוות. ויאמר אדוני, אתה חסת על הקיקיון אשר לא עמלת בו ולא גידלת. שבין לילה חיה ובין לילה עבד, ואני לא אחוס על נינווה העיר הגדולה, אשר יש בה הרבה מ12 ריבו אדם, אשר לא ידע בין ימינו לשמאלו, ובהמה רבה
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol haolamim tzadik b'kol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'yoseh ha'mdaber u'mekayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh ve'al yom ha'kippurim hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limenucha limkila v'lischibcha ulchapara lekavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarchim otach yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol chai tamid leolam va'ed udvarcha emet v'chayam la'ad baruch atah Adonai melech mochel v'soleach la'avonotenu v'la'avonot ama beit Yisrael uma'avir ashmotenu b'chol shana v'shana melech al kol ha'aretz mikadesh ha'shabbat v'Yisrael b'yom ha'kippurim.
Amen.
Now return the Torah to the ark. Shel koach. Etz chaimim למחזיקים בה בתומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם בכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש ימינו מקדם. Let's cross the ark. For those that are able to do that, we invite you to remain standing as we are going to go directly into Tfilat Amidah, which is in page
356.
Thank you. Page 356. Adonai, sefatai tiftach, ufi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 360.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elokei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov
זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. וכתבנו בספר החיים, וכתבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים.
מלך עוזר, מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני.
על כל שמו.
מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
אתה גיבור.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטוב.
מחלק חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומאדיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו משתלי עפר. מי כמוך בגבולות ומי דומך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אל הרחמים, זוכר יסורה לחיים ברחמים.
ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל.
Page 368. נקדש את שמך בעולם, שם שמקדשים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך. וקרא זה אל זה ואמר,
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות. The whole world is filled with your glory. The whole world is filled with your glory. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot. The whole world is filled with your glory. The whole world is filled with your glory. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot. The whole world is filled with your glory. The whole world is filled with your glory. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot. The whole world is filled with your glory. The whole world is filled with your glory. Kadosh, 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 Adonai
מלכנו ומשיענו, הוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We're on page 370. ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. בשפחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם ועד, כי אל מלך גדול וקדוש אתה. ובכן תן פחדיך, אדוני אלוהינו על כל מעשיך. And so in your holiness give all creation the gift of awe. Turn our fear to reverence, let us witness the of wonder, perceiving all nature. As a prayer come alive, we bow to the sovereignty of your strength, the primacy of your power. We yearn for connection with all that lives, doing your will with wholeness of heart. All inspiring is your creation, all encompassing your transcendent name. And so in your holiness, give your people the gift of honor. Bless with praise those who praise you. Bless with hope those who seek you. Give your believers basis for faith, through happiness in the land of Israel, through joy in Jerusalem. May the sparks of David, your servant, soon grow bright enough for us to see a beam of light in darkness, a promise of perfection. ובכן צדיקים יראו וישמחו. And so in your holiness, give the righteous a gift of vision, bright with joy, a world where evil has no voice, and the rule of malevolence fades like wisp of smoke. Good people everywhere will celebrate the stunning sight of arrogance gone from the earth. Ba'atim loch Adonai, page 378. Ba'atim loch Adonai, ata Adonai levadecha, על כל מעשיך, בהר ציון משכן כבודך ובירושלים עיר קודשך, ככתוב בדברי קודשך ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור, הללויה, קדוש אתה ונורא שמך, בין אלוה מלבדך, ככתוב, ויקבע אדוני צבאות במשפט, האל הקדוש הנקדש בצדקה, ברוך אתה אדוני, המלך הקדוש. We'll continue with the reading of תפילת עמידה in silence, we're pages 380 to page 406. פארקי אדוני נושא כפר עליכם, לתאר אתכם מכל חטאותיכם לפני אדוני תתארו, אלוהינו ולאבותינו ואמותינו, רצה ונוחתנו ובקשנו וסודך ותחלקנו בתורתך ושכנו ותורך בשעותיך, ונקרנו אדוני אלוהינו בעבור ורצון שמחת קודשך ונקרבה ישראל, בקדשי שמך, בתר לב אלוהותיך. רצון אלוהינו ישראל ותפלתם ותקבל. מודים אנחנו לך שתורנו אלוהינו ולא אבותינו ואמותינו בעת וחיינו. טוב, כאילו חכמך ברחמים, וחסדיך ימינו לך. כולך יתברך את שכונת שלך. ברוך אתה עונה הטוב שלך. אלוהינו ולא אבותינו ואמותינו באחר וסוד.
Thank you.
we're at the bottom of page 406. We say, בספר חיים ברכה ושלום, ופרנסה טובה, נסחר וניכתב לפניך, אנחנו וכל עמך בית ישראל, לחיים טובים ולשלום. I ask you to read to yourself, but with your voice out. Let us hear each other. Let us, in the whole family of Israel, we remember and inscribe. Read with me. It will be nice. Look, last year, when we were asking for the whole family of Israel to be written in the book of life, it was just a few days before October 7th. If there's something that the Yamim HaNoraim, the High Holidays remind us, is that there are things that are not under our control. Like, of course, we can work for peace. Of course, we can work for goodness in the world. But there are things that we don't know that we are going to encounter along our journeys. And what we can make sure, we can try to be who we aspire to be in this world and to speak the words and the values that we want to communicate and we want to make real in this world. So when we ask for God to inscribe us in the book of life, it's a good idea to think about how we write the pages of our lives in a way in which we will multiply life and goodness in the world. Let us, and the whole family of Israel, read with me, be remembered and inscribed in the book of life. May it be a life of goodness, blessing, and prosperity. May it be a life of peace. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. We will conclude this Mincha and move into the Avodah order. Turning our Machzorim to page 416. We'd like to invite you to please rise. And when we conclude this part, we are going to go into the Avodah order. We'll invite you to take some of the handouts that we prepare in advance. An interesting thing, or a very powerful thing about the Avodah order, and we'll talk about that in a minute, it's just a few minutes, is that invites us to time travel to the great temple of Jerusalem and to connect with the beginning of this solemn day that is Yom Kippur, as our ancestors somehow acknowledge and approach this day. And one of the central things before showing up in this day is to confess, is to actually articulate the things that we feel that need to be, we need to atone for them. So we are going to take a minute, just a minute, while we are standing, to go through page 416 and to stop for a second in each one of the words of the list of the confession and see where they meet us. And if we need to acknowledge our connection with them, verbalize it to yourself. And from there, we are going to go into the Avodah order. We will be standing during the Avodah order. I want to remind everyone that if you feel that you need to sit, we invite you, we encourage you to rise on your spirit, but to sit and to be mindful of what your body needs.
The Avodah section of the Yom Kippur service serves as a spiritual bridge, inviting us to transcend time and space. As the text recounts the ancient ritual performed in the great temple, we are reminded that the core elements of the human experience, our search for meaning, our awareness of vulnerability, our struggle with imperfection, and our deep need for forgiveness and atonement are timeless. Despite the passage of over 2,000 years, the yearning for rituals that ground us and the strength we draw from our communal bonds remain as vital today as they were in the temple courts. The Avodah allows us to recognize that in our deepest essence, we are connected to generations past, sharing in the same sacred quest for spiritual renewal. Through our rituals, though our rituals have evolved without the temple, without sacrifices, the essence of our humanity and the structures we are to engage with remain part of an unbroken chain that spans millennia. Through the rituals of Yom Kippur, we enter a palace that transcends geographic and time limitations. We are right there at the courtyard, connected through generations by a legacy that shapes both our humanity and our identity. Ashrei Ha'am. Fortunate are the people whose inheritance is this enduring tradition. In the next pages, you will find contemporary singer Yashay Ribo's telling of the ritual described in the Mishnah and later on in the Yom Kippur Maxor.
במקום שעמד, רחץ ידיו, רחץ ידיו, רגליו טבל עליו ונסתפק, בא ממקום שהוא בא, והלך למקום שהלך. פשט בגדי החול, לבש בגדי לבן. וכך היה אומר, אנא השם, כפר לחטאים, לעוונות ולפשעים, שחטאתי לפניך אני וביתי. ואם אדם היה יכול לזכור את הפגמים, את החסרונות, את כל הפשעים, את כל העוונות, בטח כך היה מונה אחת באחת, 1 ו2, 1 ו3, 1 ו4, 1 ו5. ישר היה מתייאש, כי לא היה יכול לשאת את המרירות, החטא, את הבושה, את הפספוס, את ההפסד.
He would enter into the place where he had entered and stand on the place on which he had stood, wash his hands and his feet, immerse himself, come up and dry himself, come from the place where he came and go to the place where he went, take off his ordinary clothes and put on white garments. And thus he would say, please, O God, forgive the sins, the wrongdoings, and the transgressions which I have sinned before you, I and my household. And if a person could remember the flaws, the shortcomings, all the transgressions, all the wrongdoings, thus he would surely count 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 1 and 5. He would give up right away because he wouldn't be able to bear the bitterness, the sin, the shame, the missed opportunity, the loss. And when the priests and all the people standing in the temple court would hear God's ineffable name coming out of the high priest's mouth, they would bow and kneel and fall prostrate to the ground, saying, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Blessed is the name of the one whose glorious sovereignty will be forever and ever.
בכהנים אינם העומדים בעשרה, ששומעים את שם השם המפורש יוצא מפי כהן גדול היו שקרים, משתחווים ונופלים על פניהם. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. יעיד עליי, 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 יעיד עליי. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. פסע למקום שפסע, פניו לקודש, אחוריו להיכל. בלא רבב היו שווים פיו ומסב. בא ממקום שהוא בא, והלך למקום שהלך. פשט בגדי לבן, לבש בגדי זהב. וכך היה אומר, אנא השם, כפר לחטאים, לעוונות ולפשעים, שחטאתי לפניך אני וביתי. אם אדם היה יכול לזכור את החסדים, את הטובות, את כל הרחמים, את כל הישועות. בטח ככה היה מונה, אחת באחת, אחת ושתיים. אחת מאלף אלפים, אלפי רבבות, רבבות. סימי נפלאות, שעשית עמנו, ימים לילות.
He would step into the place where he had stepped, his face turned to the Holy of Holies, his back to the sanctuary. Faultless in his words and his deeds as one, he would come from the place from where he came and go to the place which he went, take off the white garments and put on golden garments. And thus he would say, "Please, O God, forgive the sins, wrongdoings, and the transgressions which I have sinned before you, I and my household." And if a person could remember the kindness, the goodness, all the mercy and the saving grace, the miracles and wonders which you have done for us during days and nights, thus they would surely count one and one, one and two, one of the thousands and myriad of miracles. And when the priests and all the people standing in the temple court would hear God's ineffable name coming out of the high priest's mouth, they would bow and kneel and fall prostrate to the ground, saying, "Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam Va'ed." Blessed is the name of the one whose glorious sovereignty will be forever and ever.
שומעים את שם השם המפורש יוצא מפי כהן גדול היו עולים הזכרים נופלים על פניהם ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד לי ממקום שיצא ורעד במקום שעמד פשט בגדי סעף לבש בגדי עצמו וכל העם והכהנים היו מלווים אותו לביתו ביום טוב לאוהביו כי נסלח לכל עדת ישראל.
He would leave the place he had left and tremble in the place on which he had stood, strip off the golden garments and put on his own clothes. And all the people and the priests would accompany him to his house and the day of celebration for his loved ones, because the entire community of the children of Israel was forgiven. Like a tent stretched out in the heavens is the appearance of the Kohen. Like lightning flashing from the radiance of the creatures is the appearance of the Kohen. Like the image of a rainbow in the cloud is the appearance of the Kohen. Like the grace upon a groom's face is the appearance of the Kohen.
אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו, אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו, אשרי העם אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו, אשרי העם שקרא לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו, אשרי העם שקרא לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו, אשרי העם נשגב בביתי מרקוהם, חלקים היוצאים מספריות מרקוהם, קשת תוך חנן מרקוהם, חסד הניתן על פני חתן מרקוהם, חננים והעם העומדים בשרה, כוכבים בנופלים על פניהם, ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד, והכהנים והעם העומדים בעשרה, שהיו שומעים בשם אשר המפורש יוצא מפי, כהן גדול היו קוראים, משתחווים ונופלים על פניהם, ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. This is the blessing that we share in this new year. May it be your will, Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors, to bless Anne and all your people, Israel, with a year of abundance. And will you say?
Amen. A year of blessings and well-being.
Amen. A year filled with good fortune and stability.
Amen.
Let's raise the volume of the amens.
A year of plentiful harvest and nourishment.
Amen.
A year of success in our endeavors and the strength to overcome challenges.
Amen.
Amen. A year where small blessings bring great contentment. Amen.
A year of joy, connection, and song.
Amen. A year where our comings and goings are safe and protected.
A year where our community finds strength, support, and salvation from within. Amen.
A year where your mercy and compassion flow through us.
Amen. A year of peace, security, and calm in our hearts and homes. Amen.
A year where we ascend to your land with joy and a sense of belonging.
Amen.
A year of health, of healing, spiritually and emotionally. And we say,
Amen. A year of self-sufficiency where we are blessed in the work of our hands and lift each other up. Amen.
הכהנים והעם העומדים בעשרה, היו קוראים את שם השם המפורש יוצא מפי, כהן גדול היו קוראים, משתחווים ונופלים על פניהם, ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. We'll now continue our afternoon של תפילה with this core service. You may be seated.